Hello and a warm welcome to Federal Special Program Capital Beat. Now, the rebel TMC MPs have decided to merge with a lesser known Tripura-based Nationalist Citizens Party of India, which came amidst the biggest crisis to have hit the Trinamool Congress since its formation in 1998. Now, Trinamool Congress has decided to join this obscure political party, which appeared puzzling at first, but soon it was seen that this was a tactical move to buy time before the group seeks the real TMC stamp. Now, the political observers feel that it's a careful move to bypass the legalities while also making political calculations. In what ways could this NCPI provide TMC rebels a safe place to be in? Now, I was talking to a few people, and few pointers which came out was that for the rebels, obscurity was not a liability, but it was a strategy, because 20 rebel Trinamool Congress Lok Sabha MPs did not take the familiar route traveled by the majority of defectors from various political parties over the past decade. They joined the BJP. Instead, they chose the NCPI, which is an obscure Tripura-based, registered, unrecognized political party. Then, second, people feel that this is less of a political merger than a legal device. It provides legitimacy as well, because the rebels' original plan was simpler: walk out of the TMC parliamentary party with two-thirds MPs, constitute a separate group in parliament, and support the BJP-led NDA. But the parliamentary rules left the little room for such an arrangement, and therefore, faced with that legal hurdle, they turned to the NCPI, which offered what a standalone rebel bloc could not, and that is legitimacy. But how does this play out in terms of what it means for the NCPI, what it means for the rebel faction of TMC? We'll try and decode this evolution of a fringe outfit like NCPI to a national spotlight. Joining me this evening is Prasenjit Bose, who's from West Bengal Congress. He's an economist and also head of the SIR committee of the West Bengal Congress. Thank you so much, Prasenjit, for joining. We have Samir Purkasta, senior journalist with the Federal. Thank you so much for joining. We have TK Raj Lakshmi, associate editor with the Frontline. Thank you so much, Raj Lakshmi, for joining. And let me begin with Samir just to get a little perspective, and then I'll come to Prasenjit. Samir, how do you decode this all of a sudden, which this a fringe outfit like NCPI has come into limelight? Now, what we are hearing, that this was a very carefully calculated strategy by the TMC rebel bloc.
See, first of all, this NCPI, till yesterday, very few had heard about this outfit, barring the fact that in 2023, they had contested in Tripura few seats. But though this party is registered in West Bengal's Howrah, so ever since this came to light that rebel groups are joining. Even we heard that even within the NCPI there are some rumblings, because NCPI's founding general secretary Santanu De, he apparently told some media that they were not consulted, and he would have opposed the move. But whereas the party president Miss Shiuli Kundu, she welcomed the move and said that Santanu De is no longer is with the party. So even before this new groups formally joined the party, there seems to be lots of differences. But anyway, now the party will be taken over by this new group. And so we have to see what is their strategy, why they are joining NCPI and not BJP. Because it would have been, for BJP particularly, it would have been a very bad optics to take most of these leaders, because they are themselves tainted. Many of them had court cases, corruption cases, lots of allegations of this allegations of violence against BJP workers after 2021 assembly elections. So for BJP, it would have been a very bad move to welcome them and taking them into the party fold. So it is understandable that BJP was not very keen to take them into the party fold. So
But
they had very few.
what about is there any update? Because in the morning, all the TV channels were showing, and especially on NDTV, I saw that their founder, he was saying that he is caught off guard, and they were the ones to fight against Trinamool, and they were actually taken up with surprise about this merger story. So what happens? Can they resist the merger? Will they be in a position to resist the merger?
No, as I told you, this party president, Shivli Kundu, now claim that Santanu Dei is no longer part of the party. So, and I don't think these are, 3-4 members party, I don't think they will have, they can resist BJP, because we all know who is behind this game. So it will be very difficult for them to, resist this BJP's pressure. So I don't think they will. And if you see, they have already come out with a Facebook page where welcoming all these new MPs to the party fold. So there, I don't think there will be much of a problem. But many legal experts are saying that even now, TMC can go to the court and challenge this. This kind of exit of the party MPs, their decision, they move to merge with a new party. So there are lots of legal hurdles, and that is one of the reasons why they have not, as earlier indicated, they will claim they will float a separate block, and then they will, or even there were even talks that they will even claim themselves as a real TMC. But that didn't happen because of this legalities. There are lots of legal issues there. So to avoid this legal complications, they took the easier route, and joined with a lesser known party, because they knew that from within that party also there will be no much resistance to their decision, their willingness to come and join en masse with this party. Virtually they are taking over the party. So it's a it's a easier route they have chosen. And I think this TMC rebels, they are actually taking there are three routes. First, if you see the Rajya Sabha rebels, they are resigning, so most likely they will all join BJP. This Lok Sabha rebels, they have now joined NCPI. And in the assembly, the rebel groups, they are claiming
Right.
themselves as the real TMC.
Yeah. Okay, let me come to Prasenjit. Prasenjit, how do you decode this entire move where the parliamentary party or the parliamentary section of Mamta's bloc is trying to move away from Mamta's control? It seems this NCPI is according legitimacy. It's more or less seen as a legal advice. So what happens? Do you see some new kind of a design in it, or is it like a safe haven which the rebel bloc of the TMC has adopted?
Well, what is happening actually is very simple. But the way it is happening is meant to confuse the people, and ultimately the sum total of it is a complete mockery of the democratic process. So let us just recollect the sequence of events over the past 1 month. First, the Trinamool Congress, which was the ruling party in West Bengal for 15 years, they lost the elections. Now, initially, after the loss of the election, the Trinamool Congress leader and the former chief minister, she has been maintaining that this is an unfair election, and she pointed out to various alleged irregularities that were conducted. We know that in the run up to the election, this SIR had led to the exclusion of a very large number of people. So questions are there. But the former chief minister went beyond all of that, and she claimed that there have been EVM tampering, there's been the results are rigged, and so on and so forth. And from within her own party, there was a huge pushback that no, we are, this is like living in denial, and there has to be some kind of accountability fixed for this, why we have lost so badly, and people have indeed voted against it, and so on. But she refused to accept this and engage with the with this dissidents within her party. And then the first thing that happened was that in the assembly, over two-third of the MLAs, they actually parted company with their parent party, and they formed a group, and they elected a new leader of the opposition, which was different from the name which was proposed by the former chief minister and the general secretary of the Trinamool Congress, who is Abhishek Banerjee, Mamata Banerjee's nephew. Now, this entire split, or whatever you call it, this separation, or this new entity, that entity did not require a new new formation, or they rather claim that we are the real Trinamool Congress. And they even said that we want Mamata Banerjee to be our main advisor, but we don't want Abhishek Banerjee, and so on. They made all these noises. But even then, it was more than clear that this whole thing was masterminded by the BJP, and the chief minister was directly involved. In fact, now the leader of opposition, who has been recognized by the speaker, he met the chief minister in Delhi before this entire drama happened. The speaker went to Delhi, and he spent quite some time there. So obviously, the entire operation has been masterminded from Delhi, and all the legal advice and all that is coming via Delhi. So the script was being written in Delhi, and it was enacted in the West Bengal Assembly. Now, once this assembly operation was over, then came the parliament thing. And obviously, the BJP has a huge interest in reducing the strength of the India bloc in parliament. We know when the assembly election campaign was going on, there was a huge gambit on the part of the government to try that entire delimitation bill, which was masqueraded as the women's reservation bill, and it required two-third majority to be passed, and ultimately they failed in that. So they were more interested in breaking the Trinamool Congress strength in the parliament, in the Lok Sabha, and they made an attempt. The problem is that obviously all these, be it the MLAs in Bengal, the real, so quote unquote, real TMC, AITC MLAs in Bengal, as well as the MPs in parliament, I think that they are basically defecting to the BJP. The problem is that there is a huge resistance from within the BJP in admitting these people, because the party has got discredited because of the their governance record, as well as the post result behavior of their leadership, and the way they have been washing dirty linen in public. So their image is gone. The party is a complete meltdown at the grassroots. There's a complete state of disarray. People are running in all directions. Added to that is both this carrot and stick policy being deployed by the BJP leadership, where they are being threatened with action by ED and CBI and these law enforcement agencies, and they are being offered this carrot that be with us, and we won't touch you, and we will allow you to do whatever. You would be given a share of the spoils of power. Now, in that situation, what do they do? They can't enter the BJP, which actually they want. They are defectors. They wanted to join the BJP, but the BJP is not in a position to take them, both for political as well as organizational reasons. Now, in the assembly, they could manage because they were the main group, so they could become the leader of opposition. Here, they had to decide on what to do. And then suddenly from nowhere they have discovered that this registered party is there. I'm sure that there have been some underhand arrangement with at least a section of the leadership of this complete non-entity which has got zero relevance in the politics of West Bengal. And these people are behaving, they have converted this so-called party into a parking lot. So they have just parked themselves in this so that they can actually vote with the NDA or the BJP in parliament without the opposition being able to challenge
But
it by using the anti-defection law.
Prasanjit, do you see some new sort of a beginning as far as these party mergers are concerned? We've seen all kinds of models. We've seen one model which is of the Maharashtra model. A similar kind of a thing happened in 2016 in Arunachal as well. So, do you find any new mechanism this side, or is it the same playbook which is being played by the ruling party?
Well, it has elements which are very similar to the Maharashtra model, especially in the assembly. The way it has happened, it is the Maharashtra model, where basically a dissident group is being backed by the ruling party, and that dissident group actually is capturing the party, and the main leader of that party is being shunted out of the picture altogether. But what is happening in parliament, I think, is ridiculous. This is completely ridiculous. It's a mockery of democracy. And what kind of a pathetic thing is this? If these people, just like I think Mr. Purkasti just mentioned it, that look at the Rajya Sabha. If you, I am not saying that in a democracy to become a dissident is also a right. It should be available, but it should not be allowed to be misused in this manner. So you resign. You think that All India Trinamool Congress, as it existed before this election, is no good, and you, being an MP who has been elected from that with that symbol, if you think that that party has lost its relevance, then you should collectively resign. You should resign. There should be re-election, and then you decide which party symbol you want to contest in. You are talking about 20 members of parliament. Just imagine the amount of people they are representing, and every day those people need to be represented, because a Lok Sabha MP means a lot for in the day-to-day lives of the people. Also, there is a huge impact if they are unrepresented, if they go unrepresented. So, but the way they are completely betraying the mandate which they got from the people, I think that this is actually misusing a provision which the Indian constitution never had. But several political parties, I remember, they used to demand that there should be a right to recall. You know, the
Yes. Yeah,
constituents
yeah.
of in a constituency, there should be a right to. If I find that I have voted for a member of parliament on a symbol, in our country, we don't only vote for individuals unless those individuals are independents. We also vote for a political party symbol. So if that fellow is defecting, then the constituents should also have a right to recall that MP, which does not exist, unfortunately. And
Yes.
that is being misused today for these people to play a cynical game. And this also opens the avenues for cross misuse. I am sure that in earlier cases we have seen that huge amounts of money, illicit money, changes hands in these kind of operations. So we should think, first of all, if you are saying that is this the birth of a new political movement or a new political party in West Bengal, I think that I don't think that the people of West Bengal are, they have become so cynical as to support these opportunistic MPs ever in any election. The next election, these people are going to be resigned to the dustbin of history unless they find greener pastures elsewhere. This party experiment is going to flop completely. But what I am insisting upon is that the laws, the defection, anti-defection law in our country, and the way this system is being misused by the BJP today, this needs a serious rethink in terms of how the anti-defection law needs to be modified. And I would insist that the right to recall should be brought into the electoral laws of our country.
All right, let me come to Rajlakshmi. Rajlakshmi, how do you view this development of the merger of the 20 rebel MPs with a fringe outfit called NCPI? And what does it mean in general for the regional parties? Now, if this becomes a precedent, there are so many unrecognized registered political parties. Will they become a safe haven for political designs like these? Are we to assume that?
Well, I think that that is a pretty much desperate kind of a measure to find an obscure outfit somewhere and to sort of merge with them just to avoid uh, disqualification. I mean, it's essentially been done for that. Now, now the thing is that even if they sort of merge with them, the future I think lies with the NDA for them, because I think Kakuli Dastidar also said that we are looking forward to working with the NDA. So it's quite clear that the ultimate aim is to be part of the NDA in some form. But as as Prashanjit sort of pointed out very correctly, it's not going to be easy, because of the BJP, which fought essentially against the TMC. I mean, its entire sort of plank was based, on corruption against the TMC, etc., etc. And for them to sort of take these MPs, I mean, even if they are not individually tainted, you know, but as a collective, and also the fact that they represented the TMC. So the BJP fought against the TMC on those grounds of corruption, on the grounds of whatever violence, various other things. But so to accommodate them, and plus and including the base that they sort of represent, the mass base that they represent, they also represent a huge number of people, as was pointed out, isn't it? So it's not easy to en masse take that support also. And of course, you can accommodate individual MPs, even if they're whatever 20, 25, whatever it is. But it's not going to be easy to accommodate the basis on which they were elected, in that sense. So it's not going to be easy for that. And I think there will be also sort of resentment within the BJP also, because they would see them as competitors, as political competitors,
No, but this
for those of
clarification,
that is
Rajlakshmi,
always there. Yeah.
Rajlakshmi, this clarification coming from the rebel MPs, saying that this move is driven more by practical considerations rather than ideology, and they've also been saying that they are trying to create a political space which is outside Mamata Banerjee's control without triggering unnecessary procedural hurdles. Do you see this as a practical move made by them in the
Well,
face of Mamata's defeat?
yeah. Yeah, well, ethically, I think they have completely lost it. Because a person, I mean, it, I think whatever I think criticism we may have, of Mamata Banerjee, but the fact remains that these MPs did contest on her name. They did contest with her face in front. I mean, of course, now it's in hindsight. They say that we didn't like Abhishek's style of functioning. But then for them to, I mean, if it's practical or not practical, I do not know. But I think what is very amply clear is that they're not going to be trusted by anyone. I think henceforth. I mean, either. I think even within the BJP, there's going to be a huge issue of trust. I mean, as far as they are concerned. And in fact, the other yeah, about the of the practicality. I mean, I think they are essentially doing it to avoid being disqualified. So they're aligning with this completely obscure outfit. I mean, hindsight, the BJP is saying that yes, I mean, there have been some sources that are quoting some BJP leaders as having said that, oh, this might help us, in the northeast, and also expand our foothold and maybe consolidate our foothold in the northeast. But all that is in the future. I mean, as of now, their strategy. I mean, even if they become part of the NDA, I mean, I do not know. In 2029, how is it? How is it all going to pan out? Now even within the assembly, this rebel outfit, which has sort of broke away. I mean, I'm sure their own their the people who they represent in the state are also going to ask them, I mean, it's not going to be easy. I mean, come on, there's a huge challenge, in
Like
front of you.
yesterday,
You see the
when
bulldozing is
China
happening. Huh?
when Shiny Basu landed in Delhi and the reporters pushed the mic into her mouth, she said, "I will not answer you, but I will answer the people of my constituency." I'll come to
I
you, Prasenjit. I'll come to you.
Yeah. So yeah. So as I said, it's not going to be easy for them, to
Right.
justify this gadari, as I said. I mean, even though there are not many flattering things about Mamta and Abhishek or whatever it is, but it's completely, in fact, untenable. And yes, it is a mockery of
Right.
democratic
No, it
processes.
is.
And you were elected essentially.
No,
Yeah.
it's a clear, brazen political immorality, if I may call it. Yes, Prasenjit, you were saying something. You raised your hand. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Prasenjit, you're muted.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, I just wanted to quickly add one, I think, a relevant aspect of this entire saga. That just look at the profile of these members of parliament. I think that is also something which is relevant. Why are they doing things in this manner? See, you have this political party in West Bengal who nominated people who were not even, they were neither kind of activists of the Trinamool Congress, nor are these people, for most part of their lives, many of them, most of them actually, had nothing to do with politics. They were basically, many of them are, from the film industry, some of them are sports persons, and they were I'm not opposed to sports persons or film personalities coming and contesting elections. It happens for all parties, and I think that politics should give representation to all sections of society. But in Trinamool's case, what is particularly interesting is the sheer proportion of these kind of people, which is not because the Trinamool does not have people in the grassroots. It is called Trinamool Congress. Trinamool in English is grassroots. But the fact
Yeah.
is that the quality of the people in the grassroots and the kind of cohesion, or the the internecine conflicts that they have at the grassroots, they were forced to bring these people and impose them on the top. These people are actually not genuine representatives of the people. They don't go to their constituencies. They don't have any connect with the masses also. Most of them, I won't generalize, but many of them are like that. So they took it as a career option. Now politics, and especially elected representatives, it is yes, it's also a career, but it is not a career in terms of being a film actor, or being a sportsperson, or being
True.
a, in any other corporate sector. Politics is, especially parliamentary politics, has an element of, accountability, or democratic accountability, and service to the people, and so on and so forth, which these people, because they have not done student politics, they have not done grassroots politics, they don't have these sensibilities. You see, for them it is just about an option. So till the results came of West Bengal assembly, assembly elections, they thought that Trinamool is a good brand, and we were like employees of that TMC, and we were we were MPs. Now that brand overnight has crashed, and nobody, there are no takers for that brand anymore. So now they are basically looking for alternative employment. Now in politics, the way it works, I think, is that where is the people in all these? These people can just not take any high moral ground whatsoever, be it in the name of practicality, pragmatism, or whatever it is. They are behaving in plain opportunistic manner. They have things to hide, and they are dealing with the BJP so that they don't come under criminal investigation. That is either that, or they are basically just trying to prolong their stint in parliament, or else say one can distance oneself from Mamata Banerjee. Shukhendu Shekhar Roy did. He immediately resigned from the parliament. They should do the same. Why do you, the moment you I can accept any TMC dissident, as long as they resign and they say that we kept silent all these years because we were afraid of Mamata Banerjee, but now our fear is gone, we are distancing ourselves. But you are not giving up on the privileges that you have of being a member of parliament, which you won from the TMC symbol, from the TMC ticket under Mamata Banerjee's leadership. And now, because once she is gone, you are simply changing your party, and now the party you want to actually go won't take you for their good reasons, as Rajalakshmi just explained, that there's huge resistance from the BJP candidates who lost to these people, you see. So now they are the prospective candidates in the next, so they won't allow these people to be taken into the BJP. So then what do? So they go running back, and the BJP ultimately in Delhi works out. They have bought another party. And they are offering that party that you take it. This is a complete cynical manipulation of the democratic system. This cannot
Absolutely.
be allowed. There should be, to uphold the ethical standards of politics, there should be a demand from all quarters that these people should resign. It is not only about the fine print of the law. There has to be some morality, some ethical basis
No,
to
but then who's going to do
democracy.
it? Prasanjit, who is going to do it? Are you expecting that the courts will pick
Well,
up?
we are doing it. We are doing it. From the Congress, I am demanding the resignation of all these people. I think that whoever wants to distance themselves from the Trinamool Congress, they should first resign. They should first resign and give up their MP position, and then there will be by-election. Then let them take a call which party they want to join. If they want to join the BJP, let them join the BJP and come and contest. Or if they want to contest independently, let them show that they are so popular. Then let them contest as an independent and come back with people's support. But this is
Yeah,
not the way. This is a complete
right,
betrayal of their mandate. They are doing all this, then they will go and support all the legislations which they were
right.
opposed to till date.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yes, how can democracy function in this manner?
absolutely. All right, so we'll have to end it here. Thank you so much, Prasanjit Bose, Raj Lakshmi, Sameer. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you.